Hey you. Yeah, you. Come over here, come over here. No, really, come over here. What do you think of this little critter?
I'm the best!
You love him, don't you? You love this little knick-knack over here, right? You want it? Here, take it. No, really, take it. Good, good. You love that little thing, don't you? Oh, hey, it's you again. You enjoy that thing I gave you? Oh, you want more? Well, that's fine. I have a few more. See? Here, take them, free of charge. Are you satisfied now? No? You greedy little slob. When will you be satiated? You just take and take. Why don't you give a little? You've become a monster. You've become a collector. Is this some kind of mental disorder or brain-altering parasite that's telling you to do this sick practice? Maybe, but should you really care? No. Collecting shit is cool. I'm a sick fuck who's been collecting things since I've had mitts to grab with. They say about 30% of people like to collect things. The rest might as well be dead. The barrier of entry to collecting is so low that anyone could do it. You like leaves? Go collect some leaves. They're free, they're everywhere. Just look outside, silly. They're ripe for the picking. It's easy. Are you Mr. Moneybags? Got so many zeros in your bank account, you get hard thinking about it? Go collect some sports cards or some kindergarten shapes on a canvas. Your greed knows no bound. Collecting can be as expensive or inexpensive as you want. The first thing I remember collecting as a kid was rocks. The world's full of them. I remember collecting them from my backyard, from parks, or wherever my parents had dragged me to. My parents did buy me some polished, colorful rocks, so it wasn't entirely free, but still pretty inexpensive. What appealed to me was the shininess or the cool colors you would find around. Finding a speckled white piece of quartz or some shiny volcanic rock, that's cool. You could find it anywhere. That's cool. It's a little treasure hunt. That's cool. Collecting rocks would scratch the itch I had for collecting for a little while, but something more addicting would come. Now, my crack of choice was trading cards. The person thought of putting little pictures on little rectangles of cardboard for 1,000 times what the materials are worth should be crucified. Killed. If you look around the internet, you can see people burning money on these little pieces of cardboard, but I'm no different. I collected Yu-Gi-Oh cards and especially Pokemon cards insanely. I filled the binders with the little rectangles throughout my childhood. Sure, some of them were hand-me-downs from friends and family, but the majority of them were bought with cash money. Why did I do this? Well, I like looking at the pretty art on the cards and playing with them. Fills a little vacancy in my heart. I also used to set up little worlds of Pokemon cards specifically, setting up pillows to be an island, having a white blanket be a winter wonderland, hiding cool Pokemon in secret alcoves or caves like an RPG adventure. Takes me back to a time when the world was a little more colorful. Just thinking about it gets my pants all tight. Now, a few years ago, I did get a little bit back into collecting Pokemon cards, but the spirit wasn't the same. This boy just wanted the most rare and sought after cards. The little money signs were in my eyes. I wanted to get that rare, expensive level X or EX card. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, can be addicting and leave you broke. My baby, my muse, what I really want and need in my life is and was video games. Now, what I'm collecting isn't any Steam library or any newly released game, but old dust-covered consoles, controllers, discs, and carts. You don't know the lengths I've gone to acquire some of these games. It's some real sick and twisted stuff. I collect games about as old as the Nintendo Entertainment System and about as new as the PS3. Give or take, with some exceptions in between. Anything older is a little bit too primitive caveman for me, and anything newer makes my stomach upset. I've been collecting video games since about 2009. I got into it because of the YouTubers at the time, who were 20 to 30-year-olds talking about the games they had passion for, the games they grew up with, and that passion rubbed off on me. Whether it be the AVGN pooping on some game, or Chuga Conroy giving an extensively detailed playthrough of a game that came out before I was born, I was watching it. The sincerity and love behind the content was obvious to see. Now, can a boy like me just get the emulators and ROMs and play it on my computer? Yeah, but it just doesn't hit the same. It doesn't activate my autistic tendencies. There's just some X factor to popping in a cartridge, playing on the original controller like God intended. Now, of course, this hobby would go from a cheaper one when no one really cared about these games and we're just getting rid of them, to a more expensive one where there's scalpers Collecting is very mainstream now. Like many things that weren't popular in the past, it turned upside down. There's a huge market for collector's items, whether that be Funko Slop or collector's editions. Making things limited on purpose is very disingenuous. It makes these cretins rush to pre-order stuff out of fear of missing out on something they might not even want. This has bred a culture of scalpers and resellers using an army of bots to buy up all the stock before people who actually want the thing can buy it, and selling them on the secondhand market. You may say this isn't illegal, probably because it's not. If I saw a scalper in real life pull out the rug from under me on something I really wanted, they'd have to use the jaws of life to pry me off of them. It would be worse than any recorded chimp attack. Unless you're collecting sticks and stones, the current collector scene is fueled with people with too much money to burn. This means you'll be paying more money for things that you don't really need. My guess is that this is a product of the current economy mixed with it being cool to be a nerd now. Now, I'm not saying we need more gatekeeping, but the prices would be a little lower if people didn't make videos unboxing $1,000 worth of Pokemon cards or calling mediocre games hidden gems to inflate their prices. Is collecting fun? On paper? It shouldn't be. In practice, sometimes. Is it the promotion of the greedy consumerist society we live in? I don't know. It just makes me feel warm and fuzzy while looking up at my shelf of games or binder filled with cards. And in this sometimes cold world, a little warmth is what keeps you going. Keeps it from going a little crazy, a little cuckoo. Now, should the person who's watching this go out and collect something? Well, if you're not already collecting, you may not be the type of person who gets into it naturally. It's just some little quirk in humans that gives us this behavior, and it's kind of cool.